Johnny, Rob, pleasure to meet you.
I feel like I'm in a secret society.
Welcome to Daredevil Pedals.
All right. Whoa. You got the chips and stuff too? I love chips in.
Yeah, we did that placebo pedal a few years ago.
Oh, that's you?
Right there. I built
Really?
I built all those.
Really? Whoa. I have one. I used it a lot.
So-
It's affected my tone incredibly. We're here with Johnny Wator from Daredevil Pedals, a boutique pedal maker in Chicago.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of videos with guitar pedals. I'm kind of a guitar pedal fanatic. We got the Guinness World Record for the largest pedal board ever that we made with Sweetwater.
Yeah, I remember that too, man.
Guitar pedals revolutionized electric guitar. Distortion, fuzz, just completely changed what electric guitar is. And I don't actually know how they work.
Do you know how to solder?
I have some soldering experience.
All right, hey, I think we just soldered something. All right.
So we're gonna
Yeah.
go through the entire process of making a guitar pedal.
This is a creative outlet, just like being in a band. You get an idea and you're like, I wonder if I could pull that off. I mean, that's been Daredevil for 12 years. It's
Yeah.
like, man, you know what would be cool? And then I come in here and hammer it out, and that's what we're gonna do.
We're gonna make a guitar pedal from scratch.
Yeah.
And I promise I'll try my best.
Okay. And we'll make a lot of noise. Things will probably not work. We'll make them work,
Probably.
come up with artwork.
So what I want to
Yeah.
make with you is like an old school distortion pedal, like bringing it back to the very first pedals that totally revolutionized electric guitar.
Okay.
So I'm thinking old school distortion and fuzz. Thank
Is
you.
there a difference between distortion and fuzz?
Yes.
It's just in a more extreme
Yeah.
version of distortion.
Okay, super
So-
distorted is fuzz.
If you do it a certain way, yeah.
Yeah. I guess we should talk a little bit about what distortion is.
The 50s amps are supposed to be clean,
Yeah.
and they're like, well, what if we turn it up all the way and it starts to sound bad? And they're like, no.
Guitar
They're like,
players actually like that.
well, no, we do want your amp to distort. These kids, they want something that sounds like it's broken, which is what the first fuzz tone was.
Just breaking the signal.
Malfunction.
Yeah.
Sounds rad.
And so we started putting it in pedals. How do we destroy a guitar signal?
Yeah.
When it comes to the actual circuitry, I don't know anything.
We'll go to fuzz school a little bit.
I would love to go to fuzz
All
school.
right, there's your guitar.
Yeah,
It
that's
sounds
your
nice
note.
and clean, and
That's your...
yeah. Like you said, you're taking that signal and you're distorting it. It hits a transistor or an op amp or whatever your gain stage is.
What's a gain stage?
A transistor is basically, think of it as a guitar amp in a small package. Taking something like this, adding voltage to it, amplifying it to make that signal louder. Drive it hard enough, then it distorts.
Yeah.
Okay. You add multiple gain stages. It gets so big that you start to clip off the tops and bottoms of that signal. They say like a square wave fuzz. That's a really harsh sounding fuzz because your signal goes up, it gets chopped off, goes back down, gets chopped off. In very basic terms, that's kind of what we're doing to it. Yeah. I'll sit down and just do like a really rough layout and how we're going to connect the dots with our signal going through a pedal. In with our signal, a buffer,
What is a buffer?
taking your signal and making it an impedance that is constant.
What's impedance?
Yeah. What is constant?
Making your signal a constant voltage makes the rest of the circuit happy with the signal
Okay.
that it's getting.
So the buffer is like, our signal is going to stay at this.
Yeah, I'll do like a blend circuit. We're gonna go to our first gain stage. Maybe I'm gonna do an EQ section, then I'm gonna do another gain, and then we'll go to our volume. There's our volume out. We're gonna go old school for the sake of you learning this stuff.
Yeah.
You're talking about wanting like old school distortion, old school fuzz. We
Yeah.
just put both in one pedal, and we had like flip a switch, and it's like now we're in nasty fuzz territory. Best of both.
That's exactly what I want, yeah.
Let's put some stuff together.
All right.
So this is what I use. You see, I got a whole bunch of them. When I sit down
Yeah.
and I start putting these circuits together, it's called a breadboard. These are all grouped into rows, stuffing parts in there in the order of what you want the circuit to be. It's a practical application of your ideas.
Thank you, sir.
Dealy over here.
I want to understand what's going on. What's going on just right now?
They call these a breadboard. These all run in rows, right? So
Yeah.
just underneath this is just a metal strip that connects all these. So anything in a row, those components are going to touch each other.
Am I going
I
through this
guess.
now?
You're just bypassed through our super high-tech box here. So
So now we're
Nothing.
going through the...
right.
If you put those cables together,
Oh.
does it go through?
Yeah, because now. Yeah, see?
We got a kill switch.
I'm the next Tom Morello right there.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just a loop, right? But then when you take this loop and you stuff it in here, this is just like a row, okay? So, but if you put it in the next one, you got nothing, right? Underneath here, there's these metal strips that connect the signal. So as long as it's in the same row, our signal is going to be connected to whatever else is in that row, okay?
Could you give me
There
just
we
a
go.
really nice rhythm?
Okay.
I see why you like this. All right, I understand what's going on.
Yeah, okay, so now we have our loop. We're gonna put a bunch of cool stuff in the loop, and then it's gonna make awesome noises, right?
Yeah.
I went ahead and kind of drew out like a rough schematic map that we can work off of. So we're using a dual op amp, so basically they're single op amps, which would just be like one amplification stage. We're using a dual, so you actually have like 2 full stages in this teeny little thing. Here's our dual op amp. This is these 2 things together in one little cute package.
So that's just an amplifier.
A bunch of small amplifiers crammed into a tiny black chip. Stuff it in there, and we're gonna start taking this, building it out according to this. We're starting right here in the beginning. Input. Here's our input. There's our capacitor. We need a 10K resistor to hit pin number 2.
This resistor makes it hard for the signal to go through.
You're limiting a certain amount of it.
So right now, my guitar is going into here, through this capacitor, then into a resistor.
Through the resistor and into the op amp.
Okay.
We're gonna have a gain pot. So we'll stuff this in here.
This is kind of a small thing, but for video, could we get rid of the things on the board that we're not using? Or are we using those?
Oh, these are being used.
Oh, they are?
Okay.
Yeah, this is power filtering. This is some more power filtering, just allowing us to ground. Go up to pin 1 of our pot, and we have the other side of this pot going to pin 1 as well. Cool, but it's all basically the same thing. Resistors and caps. We'll turn that down. It might be real loud. Okay, ready?
Some distortion.
It's louder, it's distorted. We're driving that single stage, right? So that's...
Take me through where my signal is going.
We took basically the first half of our new distortion fuzz circuit. It went into the op amp. We're driving it pretty hard with our gain pot on one side, and it's amplifying that signal and coming out the other side. And this is just a really bare bones amplification circuit. You're adding resistance, and it's trying to keep up, and it's amplifying our signal.
Yeah. What happens if I just get rid of something? And if I just take this out? Nothing.
Our op amp just, you know, the bed because it's not getting the right voltage, you know?
So I just turned off the power to the op amp.
You just gave it a crappy voltage that is not allowing it to do what it wants to do. And then anything else that's in that chain, you know, like if you pull this out, like our bridge has been cut, so there's nothing going anywhere. Now I want to hone it in and just get...
Did we rock too hard?
Did you hear that outside?
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Dude, we just lost everything. What'd you do,
The
man?
handle on rock.
What did you pull out of our circuit?
What?
Are you at the building? Or? Dude, he said it's like the whole block.
Don't let Scallon near a board,
Yeah.
man. Don't let
I knew I was
Scallon
gonna
near a
mess up,
board.
but not this bad. Maybe this is the time to get lunch.
We should go grab some tacos, dude.
Oh, yeah, we're back. One lunch later.
So basically what happens is we cursed ourselves. But
But what we're looking at is like, this is like the fundamental distortion pedal. Like, this is what kind of created rock and roll.
What we have right here is our first step in large majority of distortion pedals that are out there. Now we're about to dive into this next gain stage. For the fuzz section, we're gonna put another gain stage and we're gonna add some clipping diodes to make it really just, think of it as like kind of a filter. You hear about like hard clipping distortions and things like that. It's like, we're gonna let through this much of your signal. So if you add multiple diodes to this, you just keep clipping that down harder and harder.
Destroying it.
Right, and then you get this really harsh, raspy signal and get a cool fuzz ultimately. This is just a switch. This is just gonna handle selecting between the distortion circuit and the fuzz. One lug of this is gonna go our pin 6 here, another one to pin 7. Now we've got 6 clipping diodes kind of run in series here.
That's pretty gnarly looking.
I just, solder them all together. Silicone diodes, right? So you get a bunch of those.
And then you soldered them together yourself.
Yeah, just to, save space.
And those also distort.
Typically when you use diodes, you'll have one going each direction, so you're clipping the wave on top and bottom evenly.
Oh, okay. So we're continuing just to cut the signal.
Until that op amp is groaning with pain.
Yeah.
And that pain will be our beautiful fuzz tone.
Yeah.
Fuzz is pain. It's an op amp screaming. It's bleeding voltage, and that's good. As this passes through this side of the op amp, we're gonna add this pot to ground, dump more of that signal. You're really starving this thing out, and it's just like, fuzz! That's how that's gonna work.
Yeah. All of these are just kind of ruining the signal more.
Yeah, we're shaping it. I think we got that. We need one UF cap out, electrolytic polarized cap.
What does that mean?
Yeah, you have a positive and a negative, right? Your negative is this white stripe here, which means that it wants to block voltage going in a certain direction. Pin 7 is an out. We go to our 100K audio volume pot.
And that's just the
See, 3,
overall,
2,
the
1.
very end of the signal, how much we're getting through the amp.
Yeah, this is how much we're gonna let through our circuit.
Starting to see your like mad scientist wheels
Dude,
spinning.
it's
and I
like
love it.
you get in the zone and all of a sudden like 4 or 5 hours goes by. Okay, we're almost there. This is our volume. This is our gain. What do you think? Do it?
It looks good. Yeah, let's do it.
Do you have clean signal? Okay. Okay, so
Oh, it's like a noise gate.
you know, something's off. So we're gonna have to like go back and retrace our steps, right? Something's in the wrong spot. Oh, I see what happened. I put it in the wrong slot. We missed that pin. This is supposed to go to pin. Yeet. One more. I think I got it.
Yeah.
That's a distortion.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty distorted, but I think we could make that
Even
even gainier on the distortion setting, right?
Yeah.
Let's just times 10, right?
Yeah.
And just see what happens. All right.
Sounds evil.
So that's just that starve. So if you want to get like really gated kind of stuff, that's where we can use this other extra knob and just kind of like start diving that down. But as I add that back, it'll fill out again and it won't be quite as starved, right? So, I mean, for a pretty clean amp, that's pretty heavy.
Sounds awesome. Sounds
So-
huge.
Yeah, that dirt channel was pretty
Yeah.
ripping.
Ooh, this sounds, dude. Dude, that sounds awesome.
What song is that?
That's an old song of mine. And it's never sounded this good before. Ooh.
It's got some meat to it, you know?
Yeah.
I could mess with a circuit forever, you know? It's like
Yeah.
mixing a record. If I get to the point where I'm playing it and I just, all of a sudden I play guitar for 30 minutes, well then I think it's done because I'm having fun playing it.
Yeah.
So that just means that it must be in a good spot. I'm already lost in this pedal.
Yeah. Because right now I'm feeling it. I'm just thinking about the music, you know.
Right.
So what am I hearing right now?
That's the fuzz side. I just put it back to the distortion setting, which
Okay.
has a higher output because we're not clipping it as hard. I think
Yeah.
it sounds pretty cool. What do you think?
I love it. I would love
Okay.
to add even more craziness just as an option.
Sure.
Is there an option for fuzz and distortion on at the same
At the same time.
It's
Adding
not two
to
things
it.
like this. It's kind of like there's this thing, and then we're going to put this other thing on top
Gotcha.
and make the building taller.
So it's already both of these on at the same time.
Right.
Gotcha.
I would love to add one more thing to this to take
Yeah.
the fuzz, like maybe another clip that's just like bring it to totally crazy town.
Completely unusable.
Maybe not completely unusable, but unusable. So that we can go from where we're at now. I love the tone of this right now. Let's have an option for a part of the song that gets really just totally nutty.
One fun thing we can do is just start messing with some diodes. See this? If you eat these, They're good for you.
Wait, no,
Yeah.
don't do that.
It's like electrical fiber.
No.
Different diodes allow different amounts of voltage. How much voltage can go through before it clips, right?
Yeah.
An LED can allow a lot of voltage to go through before it starts to like hard clip
Oh,
that.
those actually like light up?
Well, yeah, light emitting diode, that voltage being shorted out of the signal is getting turned into light.
It'd be cool if we could
So,
see that.
Let's plug it in and see what it sounds like,
yeah,
dude.
see what it looks like. And that's what we're hearing. So that's what that light sounds like.
It's a pretty noticeable difference in how it clips.
Yeah. I didn't realize that lights like that are actually, you're hearing the light.
So like single notes and shit will just be real, you know. Right, it's struggling.
That's wild.
I mean, that's a cool fuzz tone.
I was thinking, you know how the Rat is such an iconic pedal? What if we did the Chicago Rat and we used, you know those signs in alleyways that are like, don't feed the rats, and has this gnarly photo? Yeah. Yes, that face.
It's just like, he's looking back like,
Yeah. So what if we did a version of that Rat, the light emitting diode, that's its eye.
yeah.
Sounds like a Chicago Rat.
It's not a rat circuit though.
I think that's fine. I like the Rat to me as like, as far as not being a non-pedal builder, like the Rat is just one of the most iconic pedals.
Sure.
So this is the Chicago Rat. It doesn't need to be a Rat circuit. It's just like
our version of just gnarliness.
Yeah.
We just made the fuzz side of it.
I
Super
love
rad,
it.
dude.
Yeah, I love that sound.
So we replaced these 6 regular silicone diodes right here. We're just gonna like, goodbye. We really just simplified our circuit here. We're just gonna have a pair of LEDs and that's it, and less parts, which is always good.
It's kind of weird that like this huge, loud sound is just this little thing. Like just that little light, like we can see it. That little flicker, that's the distortion we're hearing.
I mean, that's literally the top of your signal just getting ripped off and turned into light. Your riffs are becoming light, dude.
That's awesome.
Well,
sounds gnarly. I think we have it.
Once we're like, okay, that was exactly what I wanted to get out of this.
Really like it.
This is 100%. Okay, put our stamp on it. Now, we take this. We need to get circuit boards made, which is these guys, right? Everybody knows what a PCB is?
Nobody knows what a PCB is.
Okay, this is what's in your pedal if you have handmade pedals or somewhat handmade pedals, right? You put all your components on there, you flip it over, you solder everything on the back, and then you slap it in your box and wire it up, right?
Okay.
You get bigger and these things start to be made with robotic things that do this, and there's really no one actually building the physical pedal. To me, that's the difference between DIY, boutique guys and, mass-produced consumer pedals. Regardless, we have to turn this
into one of these.
Okay? And then we can put it in an enclosure and get the artwork printed on the enclosure, put the knobs and everything, and then we have our beautiful final product, right? I have a friend who's been with me since the beginning of Daredevil who takes these, uses a computer program to make sure that these all connect the right parts sandwiched inside of this board. I get those files, submit those files to a website that goes and prints these, and then I have them back in a couple weeks, and we can get you
get soldering.
just taking this
Get me soldering.
bad boy and
I think we got it. I think we nailed it. I think that's the Chicago Rat sound. Sounds like home.
should we pitch this idea to an artist?
Yeah.
I told him we could do a Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
What's up, dude? Ryan, meet Rob.
What's up, Ryan?
Ryan's done a couple of the Daredevil releases. He did both of these designs.
Awesome. We have like a really gnarly distortion plus fuzz. First off, hello, pleasure to meet you. We're just getting right into business.
So
The circuit isn't really like it, but we want to make this the Chicago Rat. You see the like beware of rats that the city puts out, and it's like a really scary looking rat.
Yeah.
We use red emitting diodes, and we want those to be the eye of the rat. I think there's 2 diodes in it, right?
yeah, and then when you play, they would pulse red, which would be a pretty gnarly feature, of course.
That would be awesome.
Other than that, man, do your thing. It's going to be kind of like a 2-setting thing with 3 knobs. I'll get you dimensions on what size we're going to go with. And once I get like a PCB diagram, he'll take that and line it up with the artwork, so you're not like accidentally covering up part of his head with a knob or something like that.
Should we talk about what the knobs will be called? Because I think it'd be fun, instead of like gain or drive,
Sure.
it can be like splatter or something.
Filth and pestilence.
Filth.
There you go. Yeah.
I like a filth knob.
Is it a wedge? Is it gonna be a wedge?
No, because of the amount of knobs and the switches, we might go with like the 1590, the little bit bigger size. That always lends itself for like bigger artwork.
In the toggle switch, right, we have
Yeah.
3 levels of distortion.
2.
We have two.
Two? Okay.
We need to name the sides of the normal and rabid or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Right. The volume and a gain, and then there's the bleed control is like basically.
Bleed is great.
Yeah. Bleed is just, it's kind of like a bias starve setting, so you can get it to really gate out and just be splattery and gross. Filth and bleed, and we need one for like the overall output. Like how many rats you
Population.
have. Population, dude. There you go. Our volume control is called population.
Ryan,
Hell
thanks.
yeah, this is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, dude. Great meeting you, Ryan.
Nice to meet you.
See ya.
Thanks, buddy. Bye.
I love this.
We got our circuit finalized. We got a schematic that's finalized. We got an art concept to the artist. The next thing we got to do is just get PCBs knocked out.
Yeah.
Once we get the art proof, send that off to the printer, and we get a prototype. You get to come back and like stuff parts. You got to use a drill press, solder it up, cross your fingers, plug it into one of these full stacks, just blast away and see what happens, dude.
All right.
Cool.
Looking forward to it.
Dude,
I'll see you soon. Thank you so much.
that was fun.
A few moments later.
Day 2.
No power outages.
So far.
So far.
We've only been here 10 minutes. Cross our fingers. Now we do the fun stuff, right?
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
When we left last time, we hand drew our schematic. This is kind of where we left off. Got it turned into this fancy technical thing. You can't see all the ins and outs and everything, but whatever. I took that and wrote down the values onto our build sheet so that when we sit down with our rat, look at that.
Dude.
Yeah.
That looks incredible.
You got Mr. Rat on there.
Can I pick up one?
Yeah, dude, grab them. There's a whole handful of them, sure.
Whoa. That's
So
cool.
it's got, numbers for caps and resistors and components and stuff. That coordinates with this, so when you sit down to actually populate these, you just run right down the list. Okay, R1, boom, you put that in there, flip it, solder it, that's that. So this is what you're gonna look at right here as you sit down and populate that and start stuffing parts, which you've never done before.
I've never made a pedal before.
Okay.
I've done this much soldering, and it was a disaster.
We're looking at maybe 25 components, so not too bad.
Is that not too bad for a pedal?
Let's put it this way. So like a big muff is like 60, a fuzz face is like 8 parts.
Really?
So
Yeah.
it's like old school stuff, pretty simple. Delays and flangers and modulation things. You're talking about God knows how many hundreds of parts. But
So you
that's why
spent-
they have DSP and all these things now, because it's just like one chip, boop, program it.
You spend like a lot of your time soldering then here. Is that like a big part of what you do?
Oh yeah.
Must be.
All right, I got to make 50 or 100 or something. I just fill this thing up and crank it out and go.
Oh
this
wow,
together.
that's a lot of your PCBs there.
Yeah, so I mean, I just have
Oh cool.
boxes and boxes.
Could we see the enclosure?
Do you want to do that now, or do you want to do a big reveal?
I want to see the enclosure.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
They're all pretty-
Dude.
pretty-
That's amazing.
Pretty killer. Ryan Ford crushed
yeah.
it.
That is beautiful.
They wear little jackets. Switchblades. I love we need your help to exacerbate the rat problem in this area. I love that.
Call 666.
Yeah. I can't wait to have this on my board.
You don't see many bright yellow pedals out there, so it's definitely like an eye grabber. I had to explain it to one of my friends who's from the West Coast. He had no idea.
They don't have rats like we do.
They don't hang flyers all over the place
Yeah.
saying, hey, don't leave garbage and food. Rat City, #1.
Yeah, that is true. I think we are number one. That's
Several
what I
years
hear.
running now, so.
Hell yeah. It looks just like what you would see on a telephone
It
pole.
is truly incredible.
And we're gonna have these. You can buy these right now. All right, let's go.
And we're gonna take this guy,
Pokemon cards.
there, clamp it. This is kind of spring loaded. Here's all your capacitors. There's all your resistors, okay? And you can pull up a seat.
Going.
And we're gonna pop on Mr. Soldering Iron.
All right, cool. The danger is right here.
That's right.
I like that there's danger involved.
This is our op amp. Integrated circuit. This is what's driving the gain.
Amplifying it.
That's right.
Yeah,
This is our little teeny amplifier. 8 pins.
Wow, this stuff is so small. I see why you need glasses.
Ooh, all right.
Did you get it in?
I did. Okay, that's satisfying. It's like a little Lego set.
We're gonna put some components in. We're gonna put the top on, tighten it down. This thing flips And then we're gonna bang out all the soldering on the bottom. Okay.
Okay.
Now we can dive into all our resistors, which is this column here. Our 1 through 12. These are all in order. Okay.
First one is 1M.
Over
1
here.
M. There you go.
1 meg.
And just goes into that guy.
Bend each end at like a 90 degree.
Okay.
Bang.
All right.
Plow through it.
Awesome. Okay, so then 100R, and this is a resistor. So this little guy is then making it harder for the signal to go through.
Yes.
R11 is 220K. This is very satisfying. It's very like model train set.
Yeah.
You were saying going crazy is a part of pedal building?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Caffeine-induced psychosis.
Yeah. All the resistors look all the same except they have these different markings on them.
They remind me of Dr. Mario.
Yeah, totally. I don't think Mario's a real doctor.
Dude.
I would not feel, if
Don't
I went
say
into
that.
the emergency
Don't
room
say
and I
that.
saw Dr. Mario, I would be very
Don't
concerned.
say that.
Dr. Mario, Dr. Mario
Rob.
is
Be careful.
is prescribing pills at random.
Be careful, Rob.
It's really satisfying seeing it come together. We did all the resistors.
All of our resistors. Let's see what we got. You got it, man. Now, stickered up lid.
Oh, cool.
Hook that on there. You just tighten it down, and it's going to hold our components flush to the board so that when we flip it,
Awesome.
shebang. There you go.
Yeah, now what?
You ready to do some soldering, bud?
Sure am.
Don't worry about the fumes. You put a little fan on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're fine.
I have a couple of rules. Don't touch soldering iron. Pliers are smaller than your fingers. And that's about it. You're going to grab that bad boy. This is our lead solder. Here's our board, okay? Here is our component lead sticking up from the board. When you solder it, you want the solder to kind of make a nice little kind of TP on there. And there's a metal pad on the board. If you touch your soldering iron to this, where the board is, you're going to heat up the board too much and you're going to damage the pad. It can lift off the board, cause problems. This is your soldering iron. Hold it across the base of the component lead. And then I'll take my solder and kind of touch it to where that meets. It'll flow down the lead onto the pad. We're talking, you know, a millimeter. Get that hot enough and it's just gonna suck it all right into that hole where it comes in.
Do you want to see him do one?
Yeah, oh, for sure. Before I ruin this and we do it all again, we might go through a few boards.
Yeah. If you start getting buildup of solder on the thing, that's what we do, a little wipey. Okay. Touch this close to the board. Then I'm gonna get my solder in there.
Okay.
Let me work my way down the row, push them, make some room, and then try and hit the backside. And you'll find yourself kind of doing this kind of stuff sometimes just to get positioned well to do it. So
And if that touches me, it's going right through my skin right away.
it doesn't feel good, but that's why you got two eyes, right?
Yeah, yeah. You can lose one.
Right.
How you feeling, Rob?
Okay, I'm having flashbacks.
Dab it in there.
Okay.
There you go. Okay. And then now see how you get a glob of stuff on your soldering iron there?
Yeah.
Go ahead and wipe that off.
You know what's harder than soldering?
What?
Soldering with a camera resting on your shoulder.
I'm feeling fairly good about it. I can also see like why this is an enjoyable process.
See, like this is the delay.
Wow.
Holy
jeez.
cow.
Good amount of soldering.
Yeah, that's a lot of soldering. Could you take a look at these four?
Those look great.
Those are great? Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Then I'm feeling pretty good.
I honestly,
Ow.
I was just about to say you're doing better faster than I thought.
These 8 pins right here.
Yeah.
They're very small and they'll heat up real quick.
This is hard. It doesn't look very pretty, but I think I did it.
Grab your clippers right there. Snip all these off as
Triangle
close
at
as
its
you can
main.
get to the little glob. Everything looks pretty good. There you go. Look at that.
All right.
Hey, good job, man.
Yeah, all right. And it's on to the capacitors.
Yeah, that's it, man.
C6, 220, C3, 100 PF. What does 100 PF mean?
Very, very, very small amount of blocking. Filtering our audio and shaping it into the tone we want. So we're either like blocking low end or high end. There's a different kind of capacitor once you get big enough called electrolytic caps. They're polarized, so they're directional. There's a positive and a negative. So you see there's a little plus sign. The side of the electrolytic cap with the white stripe on it, that's our negative. You see the positive there, you're gonna put it in accordingly. We're good for another round of soldering. Oh, you wanna use a cool tool?
What's that?
We're gonna use a solder sucker. Ready? Heat it up. Put it on the bottom there. Get it all hot. Melt that stuff.
Whoa.
There, right? You got everything?
I think so.
Yeah. All right.
Clip them
Well,
off.
clip. All right. So this is like a safety diode for our power.
Why is that? What does that mean?
If someone plugs in a wrong power supply, instead of frying out your entire circuit, it'll just blow out that diode. It's like a fuse on an amp. Now these are also directional. The gray stripe on it is
Negative.
going to be our negative. So we're going to fold the top all the way down upon itself. Now you're going to put the gray stripey end in the square side.
There we go.
Bam.
Awesome.
So that's going to be our power filtering. It's going to clean up our juice going into the pedal.
I don't really know what that means.
Filtering out small imperfections in the power that's going to your pedal
Okay,
to
so we
make
get
it
a
operate quieter.
This is getting rid of noise.
Right.
These bad boys.
That's our last one. Cool. Coordinates with the little symbol on
Yeah,
the board.
There's a plus at the bottom. So.
Yep.
And we won't
Give a
need
little
to get the
solder.
top because they're
Bent in place.
Kinda bent.
So.
Look at what you did.
Yeah, it looks pretty
Bam.
cool. So what's next?
Pop this guy out. Not too shabby. We'll do a little, heat that up and it'll, a little bit heavy, but not too bad.
Cool.
And everything's seated, nice and flush.
Awesome.
We're gonna slap some pots on this bad boy.
All right.
Get rid of this. Here's our pots. So,
Oh, it even says population bleed.
yeah, so the knobs are labeled on there.
That's cool.
Yeah, all our pots are over here. So,
And these don't go directly to the board.
oh yeah.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, man, we're soldering these right on there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 500K linear.
And all these do is just clamp down the signal.
Those are variable resistors. You know, like with our volume pot, you're just varying how much of the output signal is getting dumped to ground.
And ground is just taking it just right
Just
out.
off to infinity, yeah.
Yeah.
We got some little caps so the board doesn't accidentally touch our pots. Slap those on the round part.
Okay.
That's our B500K. It's the bleed.
That's bleed.
Our-
I'm holding bleed right now.
Yeah, which is right in the middle. It'll seat in there tight and
wow.
won't fall out.
I'm kind of surprised that they're attached straight to the board, but I guess of course they are.
Sometimes we'll do like what they call flying leads, or you know, you use wire. Then you need to mount the board in a different way, but it all just depends.
This
One
is
meg.
filth right
Yeah.
here. Holding filth.
Get that filth in there.
That filth in there. Cool. This right here controls the population of the rats in Chicago, right here. Pest control people trying their best doing all these things. Hey, I got it right here. I got the knob.
Carefully flip that over.
I don't know why these feel more high stakes than the other ones.
Good.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah. Great.
All right.
Now-
I love that.
Now for some wire. You gotta strip the ends, 1/4 inch or so. You strip that end off. We don't need to go very far. Input jack, 9-volt juice. Yeah, maybe 3 pieces that are about yay long.
Yeah.
Right?
Which one's the stripping one?
You're gonna use the
guy.
very first hole.
All right. And these just all go into these 3.
Yep. And then bend your leads that way so it doesn't fall out. There you go. Oop. Solder those guys down.
These are really goopy. Okay. Okay. Oh, geez. Well, you know.
Yeah, close. Give a little snip. And it doesn't have to be beautiful, but as long as it's, you know, it's not touching each
Yeah.
other. So you got one more on that side, and then we got our 2 for-
Okay. One more same wire.
Yeah, same length, and then we got 2 more for the LED.
I'm really excited to see how many people get these. Like how many people have this on their boards, how many songs will be made with these. Like that's something really, really cool about this.
And then our LEDs are polarized as well. They're going to be on leads, so we're not going to actually put the LED into the PCB. Sometimes they'll be PCB mounted. It would be like sticking out through the cool
Just put it-
artwork, and we don't want that. So we're just going to do some little wires to route it to where we want. So 2 more, you know, pretty short.
Where are those 2 wires going here?
Yeah, that right there.
Oh, all right.
That's a diode symbol, the little triangle with the line on it. LED stands for light emitting diode.
All right. Cool.
They're a little globby, but they definitely work.
Sweet. The way that I do my switches is with something called a ribbon wire, which saves me lots of time. It's basically 6 wires. The other end of that just goes on top of our stomp switch. Slap that on, saves a lot of time.
Kind of confused.
This guy is going to line up.
Oh, wow.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So this is all our controls that
Wow.
are going to the stomp switch. Teeny little wire sticking up
Yeah.
there. You're going to knock out all 6 of those.
That's amazing.
There we go.
All right.
Stomp switch ready to be stomped.
And it's not ready to be stomped yet.
Okay.
We got to put this on the other end
And then, okay, through the top or through the bottom?
through the bottom. Yeah, there you go.
Man, a lot of work goes into guitar pedals. Especially when you're not good at it. Like me. You know, we'll see when we plug in, and if it doesn't turn on, then We'll know that I did something wrong. Okay.
That looks great.
Cool. That looks like guitar tone to
There we
me.
go, man. So this is an assembled board. We got our wires.
Awesome.
You want to do the fun stuff?
Yeah.
We get incrementally more dangerous as the process goes along.
Love it.
We're going to drill our enclosure.
All right.
I need a new bit and everything. I just switched to millimeters for the eyes. Safety last, okay?
Sweet.
It's like I always say, your guide holes are here. You're going to get them drilled to the right size for what we need, okay? This is a step bit. Each increment is a bigger measurement. It says here, pots, 5. Boom, 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 5, and that's when you stop. Let's start off with the coolest part and drill the eyes. 3 millimeter LEDs.
Wow.
So it's only the first,
Only the first one.
step. So as soon as it gets through that and you feel it punch through, just stop. Crank that, get it up closer.
You have goggles or something, or?
I mean,
No?
no. All right, that's good. Test it and
right.
kind of get your position. Make sure that you're close because you're only going to have one shot, right? Does that look good?
Yeah.
Okay. Raise it back up and I'll turn it on. Ready?
Yeah, all right.
All right. Get it. Push it. There you go. As soon as it cuts through, stop. Keep going, stop.
Ooh.
All right, that's it. You did
All
it.
right.
All right, blow it off. Yeah. There's one eye. All right, now
Oh
we're gonna
man, sorry, buddy.
All right, let's get the other one lined up.
Seems about right.
As long as it doesn't hit your finger, you're good.
Cool. Yep. What do I need my fingers for?
All right. All right, that's it.
All right.
Good shot at that, dude. You did a great job.
Thank you. Drilling out eyeballs.
Cool.
man. That's what we call him.
The
Yep, that's what they call me.
pots, we're gonna count down to 6. So these are all gonna be at 6.
Actually, maybe I should get some goggles.
I don't need my eyes to be replaced with glowing LEDs. Okay, so these are all 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That's it, man.
5, 6.
This is fun.
This
Yeah.
is fun.
Only 100 pedals left.
Yeah.
6.
All right, now we got our toggle.
Normal and
there.
rapid. 2, 3, 4, 5.
Great. Our small LED is gonna be 5 as well.
4, 5. And these side
little-
guys?
Yeah. Do you want to do the side ones?
I can do it.
We got to put something on there just so it doesn't
Like that.
scratch up the side of the powder coat. So you're gonna have to definitely hold it pretty steady with your left hand.
And this one goes to what?
We're gonna go to 9.
9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Woo-wee! There we go.
Give it a little spritz. Side 2.
2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, blow it all off, get all the little pieces out of the inside. And now
Awesome.
we get to see if it all fits.
I didn't think that making pedals would be dangerous.
Anything worthwhile is dangerous. We need our stomp switch.
Cool.
Shabam.
Oh, and this all just goes in here.
Yeah, it pops in there and
Oh.
it makes it way easier. So unscrew the nut and all that stuff. Assemble that on the enclosure. We're gonna put our enclosure together now.
Just like that.
Right. We're gonna use a nice metal washer because it's a lower profile and nut. Finger tighten it down. Take this and gently give it the little snug down.
Nice.
Now
Doesn't do anything yet.
we got LED bezel. Shove that in there. Cool. I haven't used these before.
This
Should
is
do
so
this.
cool.
I think we gotta get our toggle switch in there, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
So same thing, all the nuts and everything off of that guy. Put that in place, just one of the nuts.
Just one?
Yeah. Do you want it to have a little bit of wiggle room just so
Oh,
that
yeah?
it's not
Yeah.
exactly lining
Uh-huh.
up, it'll kind of find its own place.
Cool.
Okay, it's all coming together,
It
man.
is. Wow.
All right, now what I'm curious about, I have some yellow DC jacks, which is an option, like flush mount from the outside. It looks like they'll fit.
What are our other
Or
options?
I have these guys which mount from the inside and they would stick out a little bit. They'd be black, which could be cool too because it's
It
like,
being yellow though is
it's kind of slick,
it should
right?
be yellow, yeah,
Right,
for
so
sure.
pull the board
Okay.
back out and we'll get our
Oh,
DC,
yeah, of
DC
course,
jack
of
in
course.
without that thing in the way. Our terminal's here, right?
Uh-huh.
This is going to be our ground.
Yeah.
This guy in the bottom. Top one here is going to be our DC power going to our circuit board. I usually just get it that way. Just get the nut on there, tighten it. It needs to be grounded to our input jack, cut a wire, and solder it to the ground lug of the DC jack. Here's the
board.
The important part.
Yeah.
Bam.
Our friend's eyes. I really, really love too that it's actually like part of the signal. You know, like you're actually hearing his eyes.
These are small and they're polarized. So if you look at an LED, there's a short leg and a long leg, okay? The short one is negative. Since these are clipping diodes, we're doing one in each direction. Our negative side is just a square on each side, and they're opposites.
The shorter
one is the negative. Put it in just a little bit and bend a 1/4 inch of the end. We're gonna place that in there and hopefully get these to line up in the holes. A little more.
Yep.
Drop it in. There it is. Got it. Our LEDs in there.
Yeah.
They are. Nice. Put a hand on that board so it doesn't pop out of place. We're gonna tighten down our PCB just so it doesn't move and we don't lose our LEDs.
Yeah, those LEDs are tricky to get in there.
Right. I would go and solder the pads on the switch.
All right. It's really satisfying when it drops, you know.
You got all 3 of those?
I do. Yeah. LEDs next, or?
Yeah. Zap those guys.
Cool. There we go. All right.
Those are so close to touching, but they're not.
Now this guy?
Yeah, man.
That'll just go through and
that'll
start
work.
soldering.
Oh, this is looking good.
Cool. Thanks.
So this is lead. Just part of it. It's tin and lead. So, like Europe, it's got to be lead free. U.S. doesn't really have too many regulations now, do we, on things like this?
So it's just breathing in lead.
Well, the fan is blowing it away from your face. That all looks pretty great.
Cool.
Now we need some jacks.
These are the parts of the pedals that I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, so you're going to slap that, you got a washer, and you got a nut.
Now this is really coming together.
That's one. Hit the other side.
That's what you gotta do to get the right tone.
Yeah, that's our output of our pedal. You got 2 lugs. One is the ground, and then the tip is what's going back out to your amp.
So the signal is coming from here and then out to the amp, and that's here.
So you're going to trim that wire, strip the end, put that wire in the hole of that lug, give it some liquid metal. Other side, same thing. Find the one with the little arrow and the circle icon next to it.
That's right here.
That's going to be our input. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to find the lug, the tip of our input jack. All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then we're going to stuff our DC jack ground and our board ground into the other one.
That's this guy.
Oh, that'll be a nice tight one there for you.
Yeah, it should give it a little bit more slack, but that's okay.
Remember my second rule of pedal building?
What's that?
Pliers are smaller than your fingers.
Yeah.
I wondered what that meant.
I thought what that meant was for safety reasons.
Yeah.
So that you can't cut off a finger. That's what I thought you meant.
You can't get these teeny little spots. And then we got to get our ground on that same
one?
Same hole.
Okay. Pliers are smaller than your fingers. All right. All right, I think I got it.
Yeah.
Cool. Trim that off. All right.
We're almost done.
That's it. This guy's going to this top lug.
Then is that it?
We got to put our
and then these,
LED, and then we got to look at some knobs.
This top one?
Yep.
Give it some liquid metal.
Oh man, too much solder. Wipe it. Hold it underneath on the bottom of the thing and it'll suck it down. There you go.
Yeah.
See, it's like a zen flowing kind of
Go with the flow.
thing, man.
So we just got to connect these two to
now,
LEDs?
Yeah. So what I'll do is just kind of find out my length, clip those even,
Yeah.
and then give them a strip. We are going to use a 5mm yellow LED, is that right?
Yep.
These are
So we got
directional.
to solder direct to these.
There's our diode symbol.
Mm-hmm.
So the negative side is this one on the right, which is our shorter leg on our LED. We're going to just kind of clip this guy, so there's just a little bit of lead left. Put a little bit of solder on each end of the LED wire.
Yeah.
Touch it to each end of the LED with your solder. You can kind of just hold it up to that guy, make a love connection. There you go. Put your other one on there. Jeez.
This is hard.
Just hold it for a second and let it cool off, and then it'll bond. There you go. Done. They're on there tight.
Maybe.
Yeah, it looks good. And then just stuff it down into the LED hole. Take Mr. Hot Glue Gun here, put a nice glob of it right on top of that.
All right.
Get around the outside, yeah, there, perfect.
Nice. And is this functional?
Yeah, but we're gonna pick out some cool knobs, right?
Yeah. Check that out. That's the inside of a pedal. So this other one, we just need this attached in that one spot.
Well, it's grounded to the aluminum enclosure, which is also grounded to this, which is grounded to that, which is grounded to this. So literally this whole thing is grounded to itself.
Looking, dude. Yeah, it is cool looking.
Flip it over and see how we're looking. Oh, we got an Audi. Push that in a little bit while it dries. There.
Oh, okay.
What we can do now, we can put the rest of our nuts on our pots. We can tighten all that stuff down.
Look at what you guys made.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Give a little snug with our wrench there. Just a little teensy snug. There you go.
Yeah, cool. Normal, rabid.
Because we have pretty limited real estate with our artwork, I had to get some skinny knobs.
Yeah.
Just make sure everything's all the way in one direction, the same, and then I can line up the pointers. So let me know what you think of those guys.
I like it. And that they're black and white, like the text is really cool.
And then here is a little screwdriver to tighten those into place. So yeah, keep those down at whatever you think 0 would be for the knob. And then
Yeah,
just
let's see how
tighten that down, and it still moves
does
smooth.
It go. Does it go all the way down to filth? Maybe we want it the top to be.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more to the left.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I like that.
Right, and then just
with all of
get
them.
the other ones to line up. I get crazy about knobs not being perfectly lined up, which makes me insane.
Well, I don't want to make you insane. I'm a little bit off.
Well, hey, that's your pedal, man.
Yeah, you're
You
right.
can put those knobs any which way you want.
Cool.
This thing is awesome. Makes me wish I played guitar.
Wow. Well, there we go.
All right, dude.
Population all the way up.
The
I mean,
moment-
it's gonna spend most of its time just all the way up.
The moment of truth.
Look at your pedal.
Yeah. I mean, it's except for the back, it's done.
And we'll just leave that off for now.
Yeah.
In case we got to go in and, you know.
So cool.
Well, it's only cool if it works, right?
We're gonna start it on normal, not rabid, right?
Start normal, and we'll see where we're at. Hopefully, it sounds amazing. If Rob did his job right.
Yeah. Rob did his job.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's all on him, dude. Every solder joint is good.
I brought the 7-string too. Seemed appropriate. All right. Ooh, wait, is that something going wrong?
It looks like one is lit. We'll find out what happens when we start playing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never done this
It seems
before.
like- it's like a wink. Something happened with the eye.
We'll find out, dude. Yeah.
I like it.
How does go?
Yeah, I think something's off.
I messed up somewhere. Yeah, look at his eye.
She's winking. That shouldn't be doing anything when
Yeah.
that channel's off. That's what happens. I mean, sometimes you gotta fix
Yeah.
it. That's why we leave the back off. We'll pull it apart and we'll fix
Cool.
it up.
Yeah, something's going on with that LED.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I'll just go through and just touch up solders.
I wonder why is the LED turning on?
Probably not grounded properly.
I could see how this could be, especially on a much more complicated pedal, how frustrating this could be.
Yeah. You got that guitar. Why don't you make some noise with it? I figured it out.
Yeah, what's up?
Watch. So, all right, well, we just discovered something. Because the bleed is essentially dumping voltage to ground, the LED that's in contact with it is making enough of a ground to make the LED light up. But if you roll it the other way, it doesn't do it. So now we know.
Okay, so how do we get the LED to not be on in normal mode?
There's definitely a way to fix that. We just got to tweak it.
It wouldn't be something we do
Get-
right now.
Right, I would
Yeah.
have to order a tweaked PCB, but that's why you order some samples, you get like 10, because there's always going to be something, you know,
Yeah.
either it might not fit, some components need to get tweaked. I mean, that's just a common thing that happens with building pedals,
Yeah, of
and that's
course.
what's happening with us. The good thing is the pedal's working the way it should. It's just
Mm-hmm.
a side effect of how it's routing is making the clipping LEDs act
Yeah.
a little weird. So we're going to tweak that, get the new boards, build another version.
But it sounds right.
The sound is exact to what we designed in
sound-
the first half of the video. All the routing works properly, functions are right. We're just gonna fix the weird visual aspect of it. That being said, I think we're about like 95% success
Yeah.
rate so far.
Yeah, I mean everything except
You
for
know?
the winking eye. I think it's a success.
Well, and ultimately it sounds crushing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, and the
you know,
eye, yeah.
If you wanna put
Alright.
the date,
Yeah, what's the date?
14, Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, it's Valentine's Day.
2/14.
Put a little heart in there.
Bam,
All
there
right.
you go. It's official.
Hell yeah. Plug it in.
Yeah,
See how it
let's
sounds.
plug it in.
Let me know when you're ready. Got things rolling first. Oh yeah, the bleed. Yeah, I see what you mean. That's pretty cool. And then the bleed is also the wink knob for now.
You guys created something beautiful.
I love that that was such like a last minute idea too. You're like, what if we made the eyes and the LEDs? And it was totally not planned. And was just like, yeah.
And it's my favorite part
You
of
know
the
what?
pedal.
That is an awesome idea.
Yeah. Thank you, Johnny. We did it. Now I'm gonna bring this back into the studio. Give it a proper demo.
Rat pedal, here we go.
All right, we made a guitar pedal from scratch. This is the Chicago Rat, and you can actually get it right now, top of the description from Daredevil Pedals. Huge thanks to Johnny Wator from Daredevil for bringing us into the process. So proud of this. And yeah, you can actually get one. The first round's probably gonna sell out pretty quickly, and then he's gonna restock after that. So top of the description if you want one. You can subscribe. We're gonna continue doing fun music stuff on this channel. Huge thanks to all the people on Patreon. These people f***ing rule. Thank you so much. And we'll see you soon. Thanks so much for being here. Yeah. Oh! doing the skate park thing. Sweet.
You okay?
Oh yeah.
Did you hurt your hand?
No.
I'm really strong.
Yeah. Yeah. At least it wasn't, this guy. He'd break my arm.
Yeah.